The slap echoed through the opulent ballroom like a gunshot, silencing the chatter of New York's elite. Aiden Harrington, heir to the Harrington tech empire, stood there with his hands still raised. His face twisted in rage as the young waiter stumbled back, a red mark blooming on his cheek. In that frozen moment, Jake Thompson touched his stinging skin, his mind screaming one thought: this isn't just about spilled wine. It's about who I am. Jake's heart pounded as he straightened up, forcing himself not to crumble under the stares of tuxedoed guests and glittering gowns. He'd known working at this gala could expose him to the ugliest sides of privilege, but nothing prepared him for Aiden's venomous whisper before the strike. "Faggot, watch where you're going." The word cut deeper than the slap, dredging up years of buried shame from his small-town Ohio upbringing, where his father's belt had taught him to hide his truth. Why did I think New York would be different? He wondered, his inner voice a whirlwind of doubt. Is this the price of being out and proud in a world that still sees me as less? Aiden, meanwhile, felt a surge of justification mixed with immediate regret. His father, Victor Harrington, the billionaire mogul whose software ran half the Fortune 500, had drilled into him the importance of image. "Never show weakness, son." Victor's voice echoed in his head as security hustled Jake away. But as Aiden watched the waiter disappear into the service entrance, a flicker of unease gnawed at him. What if this blows up? He pushed it down, focusing on the applause from his cronies' validation that he was the alpha untouchable. Yet alone in his penthouse later that night, staring at the city lights, Aiden's mind raced. That guy's eyes, they held no fear, only defiance. Did I just make an enemy I can't afford? The next morning, Jake nursed his bruise in his cramped Brooklyn apartment, replaying the incident obsessively. His roommate, Mia, a fierce ally from his support group, urged him to sue. "That family's loaded, Jake. Make them pay." But Jake hesitated, his thoughts tangled in moral quicksand. Pressing charges could out him further, invite scrutiny into his life. His estranged family back home might see it on the news. Am I ready to drag my pain into the spotlight? Or am I just scared of fighting back? The internal conflict tore at him. He'd come to the city to escape judgment, not court it. Still, something about Aiden's outburst felt personal, like a mirror to his own suppressed demons. Aiden, dodging calls from his father's PR team, scrolled through social media in his sleek office overlooking Manhattan. A viral clip of the slap was already circulating, tagged with Harrington homophobia. His stomach churned. Father will kill me, he thought, imagining Victor's cold disapproval. Victor had always pushed Aiden toward the right path. Ivy League, engagements to socialites, anything to mask the family's cracks. But Aiden knew the truth. His own fleeting attractions to men, buried under layers of denial. That waiter, Jake, as the reports named him, had accidentally brushed against him while serving, and in that touch, Aiden felt exposed. Was the slap really about the spill, or about silencing my own fears? Jake decided to act not out of revenge, but survival. He contacted a lawyer from the LGBTQ center, his hands shaking as he dialed. "This isn't just assault," the lawyer said. "It's a hate crime." The words ignited a fire in Jake, but also dread. What if this destroys me? His mind flashed to his mother, who still sent him Bible verses hoping he'd change. Pushing forward meant betraying her illusions, but backing down meant betraying himself. As he filed the report, Jake felt the weight of every hidden glance, every whispered slur he'd endured. Aiden's world tilted when Victor summoned him to the family estate in the Hamptons. "Fix this, or you're cut off," Victor barked, his eyes like steel. Aiden nodded, but inside, rebellion stirred. Why defend a facade that's suffocating me? He hired investigators to dig into Jake's background, rationalizing it as damage control. But as reports came in, Jake's volunteer work at queer youth shelters, his quiet resilience, Aiden felt a pull, not of enmity, but curiosity. Is he freer than I am, out in the open while I'm trapped in this golden cage? Days blurred into tension-filled nights for Jake. Paparazzi hounded him at work, forcing him to quit. Friends rallied, but isolation crept in. In his journal, he poured out the turmoil, Why does one man's hate unravel my life? Am I strong enough to face the Harrington machine? The lawsuit gained traction, drawing media frenzy. Jake's phone buzzed with threats from anonymous numbers, each one chipping at his resolve. Yet, in quiet moments, he wondered about Aiden, not with anger but pity. What kind of pressure turns a person into a bully? Aiden, under house arrest by his father's orders, obsessed over Jake's online presence. A photo of Jake at a pride event smiled back at him, stirring forbidden envy. I've never felt that authenticity, he admitted inwardly. The investigators uncovered nothing damning on Jake, only amplifying Aiden's guilt. In a rash decision, he messaged Jake anonymously, "I'm sorry, can we talk?" The send button felt like jumping off a cliff. What am I doing? Risking everything for a stranger who could ruin me? Jake stared at the message, his pulse racing. Is this a trap? Or a crack in the armor? He ignored it, but the seed was planted. As court dates loomed, both men grappled with their choices. Jake with the fear of escalation, Aiden with the terror of truth. The slap had been the spark. Now, the fire threatened to consume them both. Jake's fingers hovered over the reply button, the anonymous message burning in his mind like a brand. Who else could it be but Aiden? The thought sent a shiver through him, not of fear, but intrigue laced with danger. He typed back, "Prove it's you, and why should I trust a word?" Sending it felt like stepping into a minefield, his inner voice screaming warnings. This could be manipulation, a way to silence you. But beneath the caution lay a deeper pull, a need to understand the man who'd humiliated him. Aiden's heart skipped as the response came through. He'd used a burner app, but vulnerability clawed at him. The wine was Cabernet. I overreacted because it's complicated. He hit send, then paced his room, thoughts spiraling. Father would disown me if he knew. Victor's empire was built on conservative values. Board members who donated to anti-LGBT causes. Admitting anything would shatter it all. Yet, ignoring Jake felt like cowardice, amplifying the guilt that kept him awake. The exchange escalated quickly, anonymous texts turning into late-night confessions. Jake, from his dim apartment, shared fragments of his past. The high school bullying, the disownment at 18. Being gay isn't a choice, but hiding it was. He wrote, his words raw with emotion. Why am I opening up to him? Jake questioned himself. Is this forgiveness or self-sabotage? Each message peeled back layers, revealing Aiden's polished exterior as a fragile shell. Aiden responded haltingly. My family's image is everything. One wrong move, and I'm out. But as nights wore on, he admitted more. The stolen kisses in college, suppressed under Victor's expectations. The internal war raged. Am I betraying my family by talking to him? Or betraying myself by staying silent? The connection grew, a tentative bridge over the chasm of that slap. When Jake suggested meeting, Aiden balked. Too risky, but the pull was irresistible. They chose a neutral spot, a quiet cafe in Queens, far from prying eyes. Jake arrived first, nerves twisting his gut. What if this is a setup? His mind replayed worst-case scenarios. Blackmail, violence. Yet hope flickered, maybe understanding could heal. Aiden showed up in disguise, baseball cap low. Seeing Jake up close, without the gala's chaos, stirred something profound. I shouldn't have hit you, he said, voice low. Jake met his gaze. It wasn't just the hit, it was the word. The conversation flowed, charged with tension. Aiden confessed his fears. Dad's grooming me for CEO, but I can't live the lie. Jake listened, his own conflicts mirroring. I lost my family too, but I gained freedom. As they parted, a spark ignited. Not romance yet, but alliance. Back home, Jake wrestled with it. Am I falling for my attacker? The thought terrified him, clashing with his principles. Friends warned against it, calling it Stockholm Syndrome. But Jake's heart whispered otherwise. Aiden, meanwhile, faced Victor's wrath over the lawsuit's progress. Settle it quietly, Victor demanded. Aiden nodded, but inwardly rebelled. Settling means erasing Jake, and I can't. He began questioning the family's values. Donations to politicians who fought marriage equality, board decisions that excluded queer employees. Is this the legacy I want? The meetings continued in secret, each one deepening the bond. Jake shared stories of activism, inspiring Aiden. You have power to change things, Jake said. Aiden pondered. But at what cost? Losing inheritance? Status? The moral dilemma gnawed, pitting loyalty against authenticity. Then came the betrayal. Victor's investigators, unbeknownst to Aiden, hacked Jake's phone, finding the texts. Victor confronted Aiden. End this, or you're done. Aiden's world cracked. I have to choose family or truth. He ghosted Jake, the silence a dagger to his own heart. Jake felt the abandonment like a second slap. Why did I trust him? His mind spiraled into despair, questioning every word exchanged. The lawsuit hearing approached, amplifying the pain. In court, their eyes met across the room. Jake's accusing, Aiden's apologetic. The judge pushed for mediation, forcing them together. In the private room, emotions erupted. You used me, Jake accused. Aiden broke. No, I care. But my father. Tears fell as Aiden revealed Victor's ultimatum. Jake's anger softened into empathy, but hurt lingered. Caring means fighting, he said. They reached a fragile truce, dropping charges for a public apology. But the damage was done, trust fractured. Aiden returned home, confronting Victor. I'm gay, Dad, and I won't hide anymore. Victor's face hardened. Then you're no son of mine. The disownment hit Aiden like a tidal wave. Alone in a hotel, he messaged Jake. I did it, but it hurts. Jake's response. Come over. As Aiden arrived, the air thick with possibility, both men faced the precipice. Love born from pain, but shadowed by society's scorn. Aiden stood at Jake's door, rain-soaked and shattered, his world reduced to this moment of raw vulnerability. He cut me off. Everything gone, he whispered, stepping inside. Jake pulled him into a hug, but his mind raced with doubt. Can I forgive so easily? The embrace lingered, charged with unspoken fears, as Aiden's sobs echoed the storm outside. That night, they talked until dawn, peeling back scars. Aiden confessed the depth of his denial. I dated women to please him, but it felt empty. Jake shared his own battles. Coming out cost me my home, but hiding would have cost my soul. Their words intertwined, forging a bond amid the wreckage. But Jake's inner turmoil surged. Is this real, or rebound from his loss? Trust, once broken, mended slowly. As weeks passed, their relationship blossomed in secrecy. Stolen coffees, walks in hidden parks. Aiden, stripped of wealth, crashed on Jake's couch, adapting to a life without luxury. I never realized how freeing broke can be, he joked, but inwardly, panic gripped him. What if I regret this? Job hunts humiliated him, the air reduced to resumes. Society's judgment stung. Whispers at interviews, aren't you that Harrington kid? Jake supported him, but resentment simmered. You had everything and threw it away for what? He thought during quiet moments. His activism suffered. Time with Aiden distracted from protests. Friends distanced themselves. He's the enemy, Jake. The internal conflict intensified. Am I compromising my values for love? Victor's retaliation escalated. He leaked stories to tabloids. Disgraced Heir in gay affair. Photos surfaced, blurry shots of them together. Jake's workplace fired him, citing distraction. Rage boiled. How dare Victor invade our lives? But deeper, self-doubt. Did I drag Aiden into this hell? Aiden faced public scorn head-on. At a family board meeting he crashed. He declared, I'm out, and proud. Boos erupted, but a few nods gave hope. Inside, terror. Have I destroyed the empire for selfishness? Victor's glare burned. You'll regret this. The couple's first fight exploded over it. You should have fought from inside, Jake yelled. Aiden countered. Like you fought your family? Wounds reopened, words like weapons. Jake stormed out, mind a tempest. Love shouldn't hurt this much. Is it worth the pain? Reconciliation came painfully. Aiden found Jake at a queer bar, apologizing. I'm scared, but I choose you. They danced, bodies close, hearts sinking. Yet, society's pressure mounted, hate mail, online trolls. Jake's mother called, "Come home, repent." Her plea tore him. Abandon Aiden, or lose her forever. Aiden uncovered a darker truth. Victor's charity funded conversion therapy camps. Horrified, he confided in Jake. He knew about me years ago, tried to fix me. The revelation shattered Aiden. My father betrayed me first. Fury mixed with grief. How do I forgive that? They decided to expose it. Jake hesitated. This could destroy lives. His ethics clashed. Justice versus mercy. But the damage to youth like him tipped the scale. They leaked documents anonymously, igniting a scandal. Victor's empire crumbled. Stocks plunged. Partners fled. He called Aiden, "You ungrateful bastard." Aiden's voice cracked. "You made me this way." Hanging up, tears flowed. Freedom's price is loneliness. Jake comforted him, but his own demons roared. Am I using his pain to fight my battles? The exposure backfired. Supporters accused them of fabrication. Protests outside their apartment turned violent. A brick through the window. Jake bandaged Aiden's cut. We can't hide forever. In the aftermath, their love deepened amid chaos. Intimate talks revealed dreams. Aiden wanted to start a foundation for queer youth. Jake, to advocate legally. But doubts persisted. Can we survive the storm? Pivotal moment came at a rally. Aiden spoke publicly. I was the oppressor, now I'm the oppressed. Change starts with truth. Jake watched, pride swelling, but fear lurking. What if fame corrupts him? As media frenzy peaked, Victor sued for defamation. Court loomed again, this time pitting father against son. Aiden's anxiety spiked. Testify against my blood? Jake urged. It's for us, for everyone. The trial's eve brought confessions. I love you, Aiden said, voice trembling. Jake echoed it, but inwardly questioned. Is love enough against the world? The courtroom buzzed with anticipation. Flashbulbs popping as Aiden took the stand. His eyes locking on Victor's stony face across the aisle. He funded camps that tortured kids like me. Aiden testified, voice steady but heart fracturing. Jake, in the gallery, gripped the railing, his mind a maelstrom. This truth heals, but at what cost to him? The words hung heavy, exposing not just Victor's sins, but Aiden's complicity in silence for years. Victor's lawyer tore into Aiden. Jealous revenge from a disinherited son? Aiden faltered, memories flooding. Childhood praises turned to criticisms. Why did I wait so long? He agonized inwardly. The cross-examination unearthed painful details. Victor's attempts to cure him at 16, the isolation. Tears escaped as Aiden admitted, I hid to survive your love. Jake watched, empathy clashing with anger. Aiden suffered, but so have I, because of men like Victor. Testifying next, Jake detailed the slap's impact. It wasn't just physical. It revived every rejection. His voice broke, recounting lost jobs, threats, but deeper, confession. Falling for Aiden challenged everything I believed. The jury's sympathy shifted, but Victor's defense painted them as opportunists. A waiter seducing the heir for fame. Jake's fury boiled. How dare they twist our pain? Outside court, protesters clashed. Pro-LGBT chants versus conservative backlash. A shove turned to brawl. Jake pulled Aiden away, both bruised emotionally. Nights became battlegrounds of doubt. Did we go too far? Aiden whispered in bed. Jake held him. No, but it hurts. Their intimacy, once refuge, now mirrored the external war. Tender moments interrupted by calls from lawyers. Jake's inner voice accused. You're losing yourself in his fight. Victor's testimony was a masterclass in denial. I supported traditional values, but cracks showed. A quiver when mentioning Aiden's mother, who died young, leaving Victor to raise him rigidly. Aiden realized he's broken too. Pity mixed with rage. Does pain excuse cruelty? Post-trial, waiting for verdict, tension peaked. They escaped to a cabin upstate, seeking solace. Their vulnerabilities poured out. Aiden admitted, "I fear I'll become him, cold, controlling." Jake confessed, "I worry love blinds me to red flags." The honesty strengthened them, but shadows lingered. The verdict came. Guilty on defamation? No, Victor lost, ordered to pay damages and dissolve ties to the camps. Cheers erupted, but Victor's glare at Aiden screamed finality. "You're dead to me." Aiden collapsed outside, sobbing. Freedom won, family lost forever. Media hailed them as heroes, but fame's double edge cut deep. Invites to galas, ironic echoes of their meeting brought scrutiny. At one event, a socialite sneered, "From slapper to savior, convenient." Aiden bristled, but Jake pulled him aside. "Don't let them win." Yet, success bred isolation. Friends envied their spotlight. Family ghosts haunted. Jake's mother emailed, "Proud? No, ashamed." The rejection reopened wounds. Why can't love bridge divides? Aiden started his foundation, channeling pain into purpose. Jake joined, advocating for policy change. But burnout loomed, endless interviews, threats. One night, Aiden snapped, "Is this worth it?" Jake's heart ached. Are we fighting society or each other? A betrayal from within. A foundation board member, a closeted ally, leaked internal doubts to press, framing Aiden as hypocritical. Headlines screamed, "Harrington Heir's fake redemption." Aiden spiraled. "Everyone sees the fraud in me." Jake defended publicly, but privately doubted. Did I push him too hard? Rebuilding trust tested them. "We face this together," Jake vowed. Their bond, forged in fire, hardened, but scars remained. Society's acceptance felt superficial. True change lagged. As they navigated fallout, love evolved deeper, more resilient. Yet questions persisted. Can we heal fully, or does pain define us? Victory's aftertaste turned bitter as Aiden stared at the foundation's empty offices. The leak's damage forcing shutdown. "We built this from nothing. Now it's gone," he muttered, collapsing into Jake's arms. Jake held him tight, but his soul screamed. How much more can we endure? The betrayal wasn't just professional. It echoed every trust violated, amplifying the chasm of doubt. Months dragged, therapy sessions peeling layers of trauma. Aiden confessed buried resentments. "Sometimes I blame you for pulling me out." Jake recoiled inwardly. "Blame? After all I've sacrificed?" Their arguments escalated. Words like shrapnel. "You chose this life," Aiden yelled. Jake countered, "No, we chose each other, despite the cost." Reconciliation came in waves, each crash more exhausting. A quiet dinner turned pivotal. "I love you, but love isn't enough without peace," Jake admitted. Aiden nodded, tears streaming. "Then let's find it." They moved to a small town in California, seeking anonymity. But escape proved illusory. Past scandals followed via online echoes. Jake took a teaching job at a community center, mentoring queer youth. Seeing their hope reignited his. This is why we fought. But nights brought nightmares of the slap, the trial. Am I truly over it? Aiden volunteered anonymously, rebuilding self-worth. Yet, Victor's shadow loomed. A surprise will surfaced, leaving Aiden a pittance with a note. "Prove you're worthy without me." The inheritance tempted. "We could start over," Aiden pondered. Jake saw the trap. Its control from the grave. The decision tore Aiden. Reject it and struggle, or accept and betray principles. He burned the check, choosing integrity. We're free, but freedom's weight crushed. Financial strain sparked fights. Your pride costs us everything, Jake accused. Aiden's defense. Better poor than chained. Internal monologues raged. Jake. Is pride worth hunger? Aiden. Is survival worth soul-selling? A health scare amplified despair. Jake's stress-induced collapse. In the hospital, Aiden whispered, I can't lose you. Jake woke to Aiden's vigil, emotions flooding. We've paid too dearly. Recovery brought clarity. We need boundaries, from the world, from our pasts. They attended support groups, sharing stories that mirrored others. Hearing echoes of their pain fostered empathy. We're not alone. But society's progress felt glacial. New laws rolled back, hate crimes rising. Jake marched again, Aiden by his side. This fight never ends. Intimacy returned, deeper with scars. You're my anchor, Aiden said. Jake replied, and you're my storm, beautiful, terrifying. Love persisted, but questions lingered. Can we sustain this? Years later, at a quiet anniversary, reflection hit. From a slap to this worth it? Aiden asked. Jake smiled faintly. Most days, but inwardly. The damage lingers. Trust fragile, joys shadowed. As they watched the sunset, peace tentative, one truth emerged. Choices define, but consequences endure. Was Aiden's coming out a selfless act of courage, or a selfish rebellion that destroyed more than it saved?